Hey, everybody. Welcome to SWAT's podcast. This is the first episode. And today we have Cameron with us, SWAT's joint founder, one of the highest achievable ranks. We'll get to know him here in just a second. But first, just as a disclaimer, for Habbo's sake and Sioux Lake's sake, I'm going to go over this little reel that they kind of want me to go through. This podcast is not affiliated or endorsed or sponsored or specifically approved by Sioux Lake or its affiliates. This podcast may use the trademarks and other intellectual properties of Habbo, which is permitted under the Habbo fan site policy. Just something I got to go over so then we don't get sued or anything. But yeah, let's just get into the podcast. We have Cameron with us, as I said earlier. Cameron, let's start off by just going into some of your history, your past, with Habbo and such. When did you first join Habbo?
I joined Habbo back in 2014, and I've had multiple accounts. Habbo doing their little thing. You know, safety locking me and banning me.
Okay.
And and I've
Okay.
been in the first agency I joined was actually SWAT.
Really? That was did you when you first joined Habbo, it was like the first thing you jumped into was like Habbo agencies? Or did you do something else? Because I know some people like myself, like I would just go into like I did a bunch of trolling. Um like my first like root experience. But like what did you do when you first came on or did was that your first step into agencies?
Yeah, that's how I got into agencies was SWAT. And
Okay. Like was that the first thing you did though when you joined Habbo? Was like, oh, you found agencies.
Oh, no. Well, at first, I joined Habbo and I had no clue what the game was or anything like that. And so, I kind of just explored around and went through the catalog and or the navigator and just saw all these rooms and whatnot and was just exploring around talking to people and whatever else. And I saw SWAT at the top of the navigator. So I went there and met a few people and they were pretty nice. And I was like, I was asking all these questions. I said, like, what is this? And all this other stuff. And they were like, well, this is an agency and, you can join if you want. And I was like, okay, sure. And that's how
Yeah,
my journey began.
that's how your journey began. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. And I know like for most people like there's a lot of people who joined SWAT throughout the ages and then like left and done other things. Did you have like I'm sure you did, like almost everybody. It's not to be ashamed or anything, but like uh what did those what'd you do throughout the years of Habbo? Because I mean that's 2014 and this is 2020. That's like 6 years right there.
Um, so I was in SWAT probably for 3 years or so,
Okay.
and then if I'm not mistaken, I transferred to I think it was KOH, and
Kingdom of
then
Habbo. Okay.
I didn't. Yeah, Kingdom of Habbo, and I started there, and then I didn't. It was all right, and I didn't really like it after a few days, and so I transferred back to SWAT, and then 2019 we closed down due to mafia trashing our base. And
Mm-hmm.
so I ended up going to AIM, which was known as Advanced Idea Mechanics,
Okay.
and then they closed down after I was there for a couple months,
Hmm.
and then that led me to pretty sure it was MOM,
Ministry
which
of
was
Magic.
Ministry. Yep,
Hmm.
and then I was there for about a month, and then I heard SWAT was opening back up, so I decided to join back here.
Hey, man, that's awesome. We appreciate that. Yeah, you're a big asset to like SWAT and all our operations and everything.
Thank you.
Interesting, interesting. So you've basically just stayed with the agency community throughout Habbo. I mean, there's a bunch of different small communities throughout Habbo, and I kind of like try to like to branch out into those small niches and such, with some kind of like with SWAT branding and such. But like, what do you think has kept you into the agency community for so long? I mean, there's so many other things you could be doing. Like, I'm sure you have some money and such. You could buy like a console or anything, and like, what keeps you coming back to Havo and like agencies and such?
Well, to tell you the truth, I just like the people that are in Habbo and the whole community and agency community, and I just like being here and talking to everyone.
Today, Cam, another Cam, he
Cammy,
announced Cammy. Yes, we refer to him as Cammy. He announced today in the Discord that there's gonna be some big changes coming throughout the coming weeks and months. Some big, huge changes to SWAT's like infrastructure and everything. Did you get a chance to raid all that?
I did.
And do you have any thoughts going in to like because there's no specific details really. He gave us like a list, like ranking structure, room changes, Discord changes, website changes, uniform changes. I think we could start with like ranking. We're not gonna get like super detailed into like our opinions and everything, but like um like ranking structure right now. We have a pretty interesting ranking structure currently. I mean, I haven't seen too many complaints. What do you think? What do you think they could be considering changing on the ranking structure?
Um, I th- if I had to guess, it would probably be like changing the divisions or maybe in the divisions.
Yeah, I had some thoughts, but I'm just gonna leave it to them. I think I'm excited. Any change is a good change right now. The room changes. I'm sure that it's gonna be a bunch of refreshes, which is what we need. Website changes. I'm not sure what that could be. Uniform changes. Any like I mean it.
Maybe a base change.
Yeah, but I would suspect that we are gonna have a base change eventually here coming up. Special units change. That could be interesting to see.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a couple interesting couple of weeks we're gonna have coming up.
yeah.
Okay, so you yourself, as I know you weren't always into this, but you said that Foz got you into this. You're part of the like maze community, the like badge hunters community, people looking out for
Right.
those rare badges and everything. Tell us
hmm
a little bit about that community and like how you got into that.
So, one day I heard Hot Spy Fazan. We refer to him as Foz,
Hmm.
and another member of SWAT, Nat, and she she and him were talking and about badges, and I had no clue what was going on. So I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" And I just thought they were talking about like SWAT badges.
Yeah.
And so I came up to them. I was like, "Hey, what do what are these badges you guys are talking about?" And they said, "You can go out and get badges that you can wear rather than just like groups." And I was like, "Really?" And so I started going on badge hunting with them, and that's how I got into it. It's a
Awesome,
lot of fun.
awesome. What is your current favorite badge? Like you're just like the most proud of having.
I'd say probably the one that I just got last week or last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
which are the memes. They're from the Kick Wars event.
The Kick Wars event, and so you went through like this Kick Wars kind of game where you had to get to the middle or something. If I remember right, you talking about to me?
Well, you spawned in a room, and there's two different sides, and once they open up the gates, everyone can come in, and you have to hurry up and stand on a tile, or else you'll be kicked out back into the lobby, and you're not going to be able to get back in and get the badges.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able to get on the tile, you go through these different teleporters and all these different rooms to find, and while in those rooms, once you go into the first teleporter, people can kick you, so it's harder to get those badges.
And I see, I'm looking at your profile right now. You got like some guys with a trophy. That's like a popular meme. I'm confusion, and then you got this little smiley, this frowning cat.
Yeah,
Pretty
those were
interesting and unique badges.
yeah, those were the 3 badges that I got from the event.
I haven't been into it too much myself. I do have a badge that I am proud of. I have the Navigator Beta Lab Rat badge. I think we
Mhm,
mean you've talked about this before, but for everybody else who doesn't know, there was just a group of like 10 Habos that got chosen by the staff specifically to test out the new Navigator. I believe it's the same Navigator that we have right now, the view rooms and everything. With the because you didn't used to have these huge thumbnail kind of screenshots of the inside the room. You used to it was only until like you like clicked the room details that you actually saw like the screenshot part. But like now they have like this huge thumbnail whenever you go to the public rooms and you can see like these screenshot like little pictures previews of what's inside the room.
mhm,
People hype those up pretty often at least. I
yeah,
know that we go into SWATs. Let's see here, settings. We got Foz, and I'm not sure who exactly the other guy is right there, but they are looking like they're having a good time. Um, I remember back in 2017, we went to get this badge because this is when I was testing out the like events kind of thing, like for like YouTube and recording
mhm,
us like having a good time. I think that was like it was for me, like I know like only so many people got the badge, but it was like a miserable experience for myself because I didn't exactly know how long some of these mazes were took, and I can't remember. And I know the file for the recording was massive, but I remember it was over like 4 hours long, just going through these
and
mazes. And I don't think I
this
wait
this was
what
before the, like, the guides and everything came out, correct?
the guides. What do you mean guides?
Like, there's little, like, for each of the little badge mazes thing, like, the little badge mazes,
Oh,
there
like
is guides
was like
to do
fan
them.
sites. Fan sites have their own guides. Is
Mhm,
that what you? No, no. There were guides back then. In fact, that this is just when they were starting to get popular, and the badge hunters community was just starting to like peak. I think was this is back. This is like the start of all that of the guides, I guess you would call them.
mhm,
We did use guides, but like even then, like there was just so many rooms and so many like things where you had to teleport and all these little games that you had to go through. It took us so long, and even then, like on top of that, like there was people inside the maze that helped us. Like they held like they held teleporters from going, or they held like these little bars from moving, just so that we could get in. And we like okay, like imagine bringing like a group of like, because I brought like a group of like 20 people or so into this maze, right? And by the end of the thing, there was only two of us that made it.
dang,
It took that long, and so many people gave up. And I actually no, we had three people, but like the third person, like she had to AFK for a little bit. So when she came back, she was like 30 minutes behind us. So we waited for her at the end of the game. But like you can go watch the video. It's like I made it all hype and everything, but like, oh man, I think what I did end up doing was just like I took like us going through the rooms and I just like put me going through the teleporters and like just a montage of me going through all the teleporters to get there because I did not want to have to go through each little and give its own section because the video would have been crazy long had I given like just even a couple seconds to each room, and I ended up giving like maybe 1 second or 2 seconds in the video to each room because of the montage. But I'm sure like I mean that was like probably like one of the hardest I've ever seen, and even like some of the maze people that I had talked to about it afterwards were like, yeah, that's like the worst one that you can get into, like the hardest one of the hardest ones you can get into. But like some of the majority of the mazes that people have or create for Habbo and like the official ones at least are not that hard and are decently um, not going to take us that many hours because that was crazy. It literally took us well over 4 hours, and it was just exhausting at the end. I was just like, I want to get this thing done, and I
Yeah,
forget I forget who it was that got that we had at the end, but we tried to make it hype at the end, but we just wanted to end.
yeah,
Uh, do you so you like going through the mazes? You're pretty good at the mazes right now.
yeah. I'd say I'm pretty decent.
Pretty decent.
Hmm. Well, except for the new one by Habbo Quest, water park.
Habbo Quest Water Park. You haven't done
Yep.
that yet.
No, there are like probably like 20 rooms to it, and I'm
Mm,
not doing it.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure this one had well over 50 rooms, if I remember right. It was. I could be exaggerating. I know it was over 30 rooms because I remember us reading the thing, like trying to figure out how many. I remember at halfway point, like I don't think we checked to see how many rooms it was before we started it because I like halfway point. Remember we were like scrolling through the owners that the owners like rooms and trying to figure out how many, but like it was like multi-owned or something. So he didn't have all the
Yeah.
rooms, and it was just it was crazy amount of rooms and a crazy amount of time. Is there a badge that you wish Habbo would make? Like, is there anything
Mm.
specifically that you know that would be okay? It'd be cool if Habbo made a badge like this for like one of the prizes for one of these mazes or something.
If I had to say, either probably more like superhero, like like superhero badges, like like say for example, like Batman or like Superman, or
Yeah,
like even like anime badges or stuff like that.
I could get onto some of those anime badges. I think if they made some more anime badges, anime themed badges, I think you'd
Hmm.
see me. Yeah, I think you'd see me out trying to get some
Yeah,
of those.
me for
Uh,
sure.
are you an anime fan?
Oh yeah.
What anime do you watch?
I've watched pretty much all of them.
Oh my goodness, you're a real fan.
Yeah,
Okay, well, you're not gonna want to
you
talk to
name
me
it, I've
because
seen it.
my anime list is pretty small, but like I like anime. I just don't put a lot of time into watching TV in
Right.
general. Like I think one of my first animes, like okay, I know a lot of y'all anime people hate on people, but like Avatar: The Last Airbender, that show
Mm.
was epically awesome. But you guys don't like to consider it anime, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not like if we were gonna go by like Americans, I don't know, like the non-cultured anime fans, I guess, because there's anime fans and then there's real anime fans, right?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people who like to say that they're anime fans like to say that they consider Avatar: The Last Airbender because I like to say I'm a anime fan, but like I could probably count on my two hands like the man animes I've watched, right?
Yeah.
But then like real
Sure.
anime fans like they have this huge list, right? But I
Yeah.
think the first one was Attack on Titans. I watched the first season of Attack on
Ooh,
Titans. And dude,
that's a good one.
I love that. That was some epic stuff right there.
You
It's
know, they actually created Naruto badges.
Naruto badges? Really?
Mhm.
Do you have any
R
of them?
I was No, I was so mad because I missed the
Oh,
event.
dang.
Yeah, I
Naruto.
was so
Okay.
sad.
Okay, I tried to get into Naruto. I watched I think I can't remember if I watched the full first season, but
Oh my god.
yeah, I know, but
Don't even get me started on Naruto.
that kid was so annoying though. Like literally,
Oh,
like
I know.
he was so annoying. I was like, oh my goodness, I hate this
Once
kid.
you once you get past, like, probably, like, the first probably, like, 2 or 3 seasons, he's not like that screaming, a little annoying kid, you know?
Okay, I guess I need to give it a shot and just keep going out. But then like there was also the fact that I feel like the fights lasted multiple episodes and like they were just standing on this bridge fighting for 3 episodes or something, and like the drama
Right.
behind it, and I was just like, "What is this? What am I
It's
wasting my life with?"
Listen,
And
if you watch it and you get
uh-huh.
to Naruto Shippuden, it'll change your life, trust me.
I need to trust you. I need to trust you because I know I know anime's good. Okay, so Sword Art Online, dude. I
Oh, I love it.
that it's like mm, that is some good stuff right there. Like I watched. Do you? Okay, here's a question. Here's a question. Do you watch dubbed or do you watch the
Subbed.
subtitles? Subbed. Okay. See, that's the true anime fans. See, the anime fans who say, "Oh, Last Airbender, that's an anime." Those are the anime fans who watch anime dubbed, and that's the kind of anime fan I am. I watch things dubbed. I like actually hearing people talking in my own language and everything, and I'm too lazy to read the subtitles and everything like that, I guess.
Well, see, I like that too, but the
Mhm.
thing is, when it's dubbed, especially for Naruto, they cut out really important scenes.
Really?
Yeah, they cut out some really important scenes in the dubbed.
Yeah, I think I'm still try. If I do watch Naruto, I'll still try to watch that the dub. But like, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it. Let's see. So let's see. Let's see. I've watched like almost all the Sword Art Online. I still have to catch up on Attack on Titan, but I've watched a couple others, and I can't even remember some of the names. I think you One Piece. One Piece. I want to get into One Piece. That looks super
Ooh,
interesting. I've
I've
watched a
watched it.
couple. I've watched a couple episodes because we
It's
were
good.
in Discord with Ismail, right? This is like a
Mhm.
couple weeks ago, and we were just watching. We had just got done watching a movie. I can't remember what movie on like it was a movie night or something, and he started playing some One Piece afterwards. I was like, "What is this?" And he watched the dub version as well. It was dubbed, but like that seems like a super interesting story. Have you watched a lot of One Piece?
I've watched it all.
You've watched it all, okay? Because whenever I was at work, right? Because I'd watched it, and I watched him watching one of the episodes, and so we watched the first episode, and then I watched a couple episodes after that myself, after that fact, and then I was like, "Dang, this show's really good." And then I have a friend at work who's an anime fan, and he watches a lot of anime, right? He'll watch anime over video games any day. And I asked him, like, "Hey, have you ever watched One Piece?" And he hasn't watched One Piece, and he says the reason why is there's like 1,000 episodes. He says it's like
Oh, there's a lot, yeah.
he says they're like well over their 1,000th episode or something like that.
He's
And
I mean, there's different anime type people, you know, there's people,
hmm
like, that like to watch animes that are, like, probably, like, 2 to 3 seasons, and then there's people that like to watch it with, like, maybe, like, where an anime has, like, maybe, like, 12 episodes into it, and there's yeah, so
yeah. Is there any others though that you recommend? Because I there's some others that I've watched, but I literally do not know the names. They're just I had them on this app Crunchyroll that I used to have like a subscription to Crunchyroll. I guess that's the anime guru kind of app to go to. But is there any others? Like, what's probably your? Do you have a tier list? Your like top five anime
Oh
list?
yeah.
Okay, you want to go through
Okay, so number one, Naruto.
them? Okay,
Two is I'd have to say Seven Deadly Sins.
okay, that's one.
Uh,
That's one that I actually have watched. I
it's
have.
that's good,
It is so good. Yeah, it is. I've watched. I've
and
watched almost all the seasons. I think there's a movie that they made, and I watched the movie as well.
yeah, yeah. There's a movie,
Okay, okay, keep going.
and then number three, Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Four, four is gonna have to be One Piece.
Okay.
Five is Konosuba, or no, not
Mm.
Konosuba. Sao,
SAO,
and
Sword Art
then
Online. Okay,
yep,
okay. The only one I didn't notice was the number three one, Tokyo something.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul. What is that about?
It's about like there's like these ghouls which are like they look like humans,
Mm-hmm.
but they have like these like I don't know, they call them oh they're like Quinque. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they call them Quinque, and they're like they have these like ghouls. They have these like I don't know, they're like monster things that like they can control with their like when they have their like the red eyes, the red eye form,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like these like powers, I guess you could call them.
Very descriptive detailing of what this sees. I fully understand. Okay, I'm joking. Okay, okay. I guess we probably should get away from anime. We've been talking a lot of anime.
Yeah.
This is gonna be. Hey, we can rename
Good
this to the
subject.
SWAT's anime podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we've talked about you, right? We've talked
Mhm.
about badge hunter scene, which led us into hey, Habbo needs to make more anime related badges, and then that got us into a bunch the rabbit hole that is anime. I guess what we have to talk about is the event that I hosted Monday, the mansion. You were part of that. You had your own room,
Correct.
and it was Samuel that helped you with your area, right?
Yeah.
We have, I think that this podcast is probably going to come out before the video of that event actually comes out. But we can spoil. I mean, it's nothing like we made a mansion, right? There's a room.
Yeah.
It's kind of role play, but like we made a SWAT mansion, and different people had their own rooms. Like I had my room, Cameron had his room, Melissa had her own room, and then we had KC, and then
No, it was Mirv and Jake Tim
Jake Tim.
that had
Yeah, yeah, they
that
had
had
their
their own,
room.
and then pretty sure was it Crocky or was it It's Your Daddy 420?
Not no, no. It wasn't. It's your dad's 420. I can't. Hmm.
I don't know who that was.
Let me go right here. Let me look real fast. If this is not, if this takes too long, special visitors.
So you could just look at your badge.
Oh, duh,
Oh,
dumb. I'm so
but
dumb. I'm so dumb. I can just look at my SWAT badges. Duh. Go right here.
duh.
Go right here. Casey Legacy. Yeah, it was Casey Legacy, and maybe it was
Oh.
It's Your Daddy.
Yeah.
Maybe them two got together.
Mhm.
We all made our own sections of the room. It was loads of fun. We got some of the lower ranks involved because we gave the lower ranks like room rights. Like we weren't discriminating against everybody that participated had room rights. I think there's like 17 people that showed up for it. And so 17 people have room rights. And I gave almost I like everybody got a bunch of coins. I gave like almost all the team leads hundreds of coins, and then we all went out shopping, raided some shoppers. They had no idea what was going on. People were buying stuff that nobody ever buys.
Mhm.
And then we came back and then kind of designed our own areas, and And then Melissa came in afterwards. Not Melissa, Natalie. Natalie came in afterwards and kind of like gave her opinion on it as we presented. Each group presented their like their area, their room that they had created, and then Melissa came in and reacted to him. So it was a fun night. It was a fun night, and we're gonna be able to use that for content, and which will help promote SWAT as like a advertisement, right? It's gonna be like, hey, look how much fun we're having, right? And then the lower ranks were able to get involved in a way that was not just filling the front, right? So they're gonna help grow SWAT. Or, these are gonna be this the starting steps of creating something that helps SWAT in the future, right? And helps promote SWAT and helps grow SWAT. So they got to be a part of that, and then they also had to have they got to have fun in the time, and then they got some money and some furniture that they're going to be able to keep when we're done using the room. What are your thoughts, on this kind of project, or how do you think the project actually went in the time that
I
we
think it
had?
went I think it went pretty well for, for what we did and, what the cause was and all that. And, it was pretty fun for for the members that participated in that little whole project, and it also benefits SWAT. So I think it was pretty well done.
Yeah. Uh, what are some things that you think that you maybe would have done differently? Because I can think of some of the things like right off the bat, like after just starting the thing, there's thinking, oh man, I wish I did this or this or that, which I'll probably get into just here in a second. But like, do you have any thoughts of like maybe something that you would have done differently?
Mm, well, I mean, maybe, you know, make it more of like a little like competitive, like more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that way, it's more under like a certain time, so that way people, are like rushing, and then like it's, like just make it like a little bit more fun. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So like start off on like off the bat, this is a competition. We're dividing you up into teams. This is a competition, teams versus teams. Instead of like we're just having, some fun together and you're gonna be in this team, you're gonna build a section. Is that kind of like what you're going for?
Or no, like maybe, like I was mainly going for like fighting over Fernie and, like some of that more of that content, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a lot of area that we can like learn from this and then like go from here. Like, oh, in the future we can do this and this and this, and then like from this kind of event, you can have ideas of like something that we could do in the future.
Right.
Like I think in the future when we do something like this, I think I'm gonna have like because there was some awkwardness at the beginning on my it was because of my fault. Like we had majority of the room in VC, but there was the people that weren't in VC, and like in recording it, it just got really awkward because I was trying to type everything out and such. So I think like in the future, we're gonna bring everybody that's like in the HQ. We're gonna bring everybody to the meeting room. We have this like small conference room now, and we're
Mhm.
going to like just kind of go over what's going to happen, and then we're going to go from there. That way, there's not that awkwardness when we first start off, and people aren't asking questions like that. It was yeah. I think just the start of it, a meeting would have been a more organized meeting would have been better done because some people didn't know what was going on and
Right.
everything. But I think that's one thing I would have done differently. And you're right. I think it would have made for better content. Had we made stuff more competitive and just a little bit more intense and such. Because the first portion of it was just kind of and then it was no really the main content of it was like afterwards when we were done finishing and everybody was presenting their rooms. There was a lot of funny moments, around
Yeah.
surrounding, Natalie coming in and we all trying to convince her that our area was the best. It was super
Yeah.
fun. It was super fun. I enjoy it. There's lots to learn from it. Lots that we can do better. Hopefully, we can take that and improve it, and then start making more and more projects like that get the lower ranks involved. That actually like because I like that kind of project so much because it gets the lower ranks involved, which helps them create memories and bond with everybody in the room and bond with each other, SWAT members, the people they don't know. And then it also helps SWAT because we're able to use it as content to promote SWAT. So it helps us promote SWAT and grow, but then it also gives everybody an opportunity to actually be to participate. And I just couldn't imagine, like, because I didn't have that thing whenever I first joined Habbo and I joined agencies, and I'm sure you've experienced it when you're like when you're a lower rank, right? Like getting like, hey, here's the boss, right? He's coming in here and he's giving me rights to this room and he's giving me a bunch of furniture and coins to go shopping and help make this room. That has to feel pretty cool. And then in the
Yeah.
future, when we start releasing the content, they're gonna see themselves. They're like, "That's me. I'm right there. Yeah, I helped out with that." And it's gonna be a super funny video, and they're gonna be laughing at the video, but they're also gonna be thinking like, "I was a part of that, and I helped make that become a thing." And they're just gonna it's gonna help them feel that much more a part of SWAT and help them become more loyal and it's gonna help SWAT become like a strong and healthy agency in the future. It's going to take time, but I that's I don't know. That's like kind of my passion kind of thing, for community and community structure. But uh, I guess what else could we talk about? I mean, I think we may cut it here. It's we've been talking for how long now? 36 minutes. That's close enough to the 45-minute that I kind of wanted to do. Um, Cameron, thanks for coming on
Um,
the podcast. Appreciate it. It's kind of an awkward thing. I think in the future, like we may have one-on-ones like this, but maybe we'll get another person in. You probably come back yourself because I mean, just getting started and everything. I appreciate it.
no problem.
Any thoughts? Anything for um for the lower ranks? Like we got lower ranks that may tune into this podcast. Any words of encouragement for them?
Um, Nothing but just keep staying active and keep doing your best for SWAT, and you know, a- achieve your dreams in SWAT. Whether that is be an IC, or build really awesome rooms, or whatever your interests are for Habbo.
Yeah. We want you all to have fun, okay? I mean, we want to grow the community. We want to create a strong and healthy community, which means we want to see it grow. And so I know a lot of the work that we have the lower ranks do is like to help us grow, right? And right now we're going through a little slow period, right? I mean, we had all the hype when we first reopened and it was super hype, right? And I think everybody knew that this time was coming where it was going to be okay. This is the slow part. It's going to be the grind, the real grind, right? And fixing the structure and everything to be more suitable, for the long run. And as a lower rank coming into a community like we are right now, you know, there could be some really slow parts where you're bored and such. But I mean, it's the grind. It's the grind, and I feel like my best words of advice for somebody getting who wants to actually rank up and wants to make a difference in this community, I think what I can tell you is go and try to make a difference in the community. Try to try to bring value to the community. Try to get people to laugh. Try to get involved. Basically, is what I'm saying, right? We have different events that go on throughout the week. We have the Discord that you can join. We post memes. We're talking on the Discord all day long. Even like me, myself, Cameron. I see Cameron. We have all the administration, and even the lower ranks. We have a lot of lower ranks and mid tier ranks, and they're all just talking throughout the day, even though they're not on Habbo, right? I'm at work sometimes, and I'll just be like, during my breaks or whatever, during when I have a slow part at work, I'll get on my phone and see what's going on in SWAT and see the memes and the screenshots that are being posted and commenting, such. If you're out there posting like that and you're replying and commenting on that kind of stuff and showing that you're really care about the community is going to care about you. Is going to make sure that you feel welcomed, and is going to make sure that you start to rank up and become more value. More, let's see, what am I trying to say? You're gonna find yourself in a place where, like, we're gonna want to put you in a place where we know that you care about SWAT, and because you care about SWAT, we want to put you in a place where you can help SWAT better. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, you you never know where it's going to go. Like, we have so many founders throughout the years. We're probably going to be making a promotional video for SWAT in the future. We're going to hire a voice actor, and it's literally going to be the story of Amy, one of our old founders from back in the day, and she literally started as a recruit and made it all the way to founder. And I think Cameron, I'm not sure, did you start as a recruit?
Yeah.
And so there we go. We got another one, Cameron, and Cameron made it all the way to founder as well. That's like the highest um, position that you can get. But I think that's going to be it. I think we're going to end the podcast there. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, hopefully, we have something better for y'all to listen to in the future. We're getting to know and getting to learn how this podcasting thing works, and so hopefully in the future y'all can enjoy.